Oh! Oh!
Oh, that's really
Okay,
bad.
so you're gonna take a warped outcome, and let's give you 4 to your warped outcome tally, and Tony, you can tell how bad that is.
Yeah,
I'll look that up. I think I have something where I can ignore. Give me
Yeah, you can if we take a longbow technique. That's true.
What is my warped outcome right now? 33.
And that's your new enemy, Mike.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a big long one, Mike.
Yep.
Did he get himself a mentor, or did he get himself a problem with... He might have defined himself in the way he thinks of magic.
What? I'm sorry. Oh, you red rolled for me?
I rolled a
4. Okay. But it's one of the. Oh yeah, I won't blow a ship swaggering at this point. A godling of Jin will follow or aid the character. This might be Zeddy or Coach No Say. For the remainder of the adventure, the degree of all characters' task resolutions are dropped by 1 towards routine. Auto success. The supernatural being will not aid in combat or specialized Q&D. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, that's a good thing. So
stop here at your next warped outcome. This activates special condition. That's the next time I go from...
Yep.
So, apparently I'm in touch with Ungmar.
Glitnir is helping you for this mission.
I'll take that.
Okay, and I go on to Greg. You're with us, right?
I am.
Terrific. So they left you a couple of nearby cities that you can talk to, Cherson or Tudmerican, or you can go to Varna or Belgorod, which are a little bit more remote. What level are you? You're level 3?
Yeah.
Okay, your rolls are probably going to be 12s.
Okay, so which of these cities is either A, easy, or B, unimportant?
Well, I can't answer either question because they all could turn out important later in the Q&Ds, and the easiest one, I guess, would be Tmut Arakan. It's right next to you.
Sounds good.
All right, so why don't you first suggest a skill on how you get there and back. You actually can get there and back by palanquin. Somebody could carry you. That's how close you are to it. So any skill would work.
I'll take a quick look at my skills here. Man.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to pick a skill where you're going to placate the population, like the fishermen on the docks who say, "Hey, you're draining our food supply here."
I'm gonna go with Briber.
Okay, give me a roll of a 7 then, an ordinary roll, to get through this without causing extra harm to yourself.
There's a 7, a bare 7.
That's all it takes. And it comes over to, I don't have a Fred, I do have a Tony. Tony, what would you like to do? We have Belgorod, Varna, and Cherson are 3 places that need to be placated. So far we've made 2 enemies from this.
Yeah, I guess I'll go to Belgorod.
Belgorod, okay. So Belgorod would probably be, are you level 7?
I am.
Give me a roll of a 4, ordinary, but you're going to have to do it twice. The first one is to avoid the wound on the travel, and the second one, well, forgive me, how do you get there? Because depending on how you get there, you can avoid the wound outright.
Well, I was going to use my winged fleet mount and fly there.
Okay, why don't you give me a roll of 4 then to basically placate Belgorod. 1 roll. It's an easy thing.
Dice. Where's this? 2 dice. There we go. 7. I've succeeded.
7, and that leaves me with Varna or Cherson. I'll take another easy roll.
I only had to roll
7.
once, not twice.
No, you only need to roll a 1 because the magic mount would eliminate any danger to you on this little arc. I'm going to roll 2 dice looking for a 7. Do I have a... Let's take a look at my mount. I have a winged mount. Wow, okay, so I can avoid danger as well. I'll use my winged mount, and I'll still go to Cherson and a local city and tell them that they're going to need to fish in the Black Sea for a bit here. And they basically say, "Do not kill us, O Holy One." And I come back around full circle to Rusty. Rusty, you get the final one. You used Cosmic before, so you probably should pick something else besides that. And it is Varna with Baron Romanov. How are you going to placate Baron Romanov in Varna?
Let's see. So I'm going to shapeshift into into an eagle to fly there.
Okay.
And let's see, for the is this a coastal city?
It is a coastal city. It's right north of Constantinople.
Okay.
On the western side of the Black Sea. You'll, on a roll of a 4, Rusty.
I'm going to offer them charts of the Sea of Azov after we refill it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll of 4 then. 2 dice.
Made it. Same 6.
Get some low rolls right off the bat here, which is good to get them out of the way.
The map after we refill it will be the same as the map before we drained it. Very clever.
But they may not even have the latest, and depending on how you fill it and drain it, it may change. So here's the deal. We're over on the Sea of Azov map. You can see where I've got Aquata sort of in the middle of it. She's still in reasonably good water. There are 3 types of terrain that you can encounter. This light, well, there's a 4th type, but you're not going to go in it. The real muddy type is solid land, and you're not going to really be traveling on that. You probably want to avoid the dragon and the shapeshifters and the giants to the north, but the Amazon's over the other side of the map. But you have the light sand color, and that's what it is. It's sand. There's also a slight tinted color. You can see just a little of it if you go to Tut Arakan. And right at the corner where I'm going to put your boat, there's a slight mauve color, and that's mud. If you travel in the mud, it's basically the same tables as sand, but harder rolls usually. And then the 3rd type you can see all around Aquata, sort of in the middle. She's offset just a little bit, and she is in deeper water right now. But you're trying to get to her. So let's see if I have this correctly. All right, the lowered water will have 3 geographic terrains: sand, mud, and the silty bottom. Dragging the longboat across the sand is relatively easy compared to pulling it through the mud. However, the shells of the exposed Azov are extremely sharp. The silt-darkened waters pose their own concerns of what lies beneath. You will need your vessel to search the silt-filled waters of the lowered Azov. Getting there may not be easy. The direct path should be avoided. That is a hunch I give you. Now, because Rusty's been punished enough by this, I think we're going to give it to Tony. Tony, Tut Arakan, can you find your boat there?
Indeed, I can.
All right. So until you hit something that is red and bad, you are the person who's moving the boat. Do it in small increments, if you would. I'll interpret it as small increments if you.
Oh, you mean I can't just pick up the boat and put it right on there?
No, you can't. You can't make a flying boat in this game.
Even with Cosmic?
Wait, yeah, come on. Rusty's got the power.
He probably has the power, but then she'll just move by my own fiat. So let me open that up for you to show you how small things are. And you are still moving. Go ahead. You're actually in the mud now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
which is fine. If you move further east from the position I put you in, you can move into open. Well, it isn't all open water; it's silty water, and you guys are all back on your boat.
You mean the west?
If you move in that direction, it's fine as well.
To the west looks like there's open water.
That's what I was trying to get a little bit into.
Yes, to the west. Forgive me if I misspoke there. And you can see that you're skirting around things I don't want to show you. And you're now in the silty water. Let me you're all on the boat. Just again for the argument here, if you're on the mud or you're on the sand, if you're on the yellow or the gray, you're actually in 2 groups. And there are one group that's out with the pullers and one group that's back on the body of the boat. So just remember that if you ever move back onto the gray or into the yellow. Right now, you guys are all on the boat. And we're from there, Tony, because you're still doing well.
Yeah. Let's see here. And let's go down this way.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And you have found X marks the spot. X marks the spots of the ruins of Atlantis. It's too tempting. The lowered waters and the ruins of Atlantis mean that everyone is going to take one event on Q&D disembark. So let's find out what that happens with. Now, these are all group encounters. They have a condition, just like in the Matrix hack or the ship-to-ship in Era 10. So I'm going to flip a single card for the party. And I flipped a Justice card, and that didn't show up on my thing. So let me restart my cards here.
Yeah, it didn't show up for me either. I will also relaunch.
I wonder if Conrad is... And it is a Justice card, though, so let me read the Justice card before we do anything else.
Yeah, it's just not flipping for me. Your dice rolls, the rescues are there, yes.
And the Justice card, the Owl Race Jenolan arrive to interfere. You can repulse them with Q&D ship actions, defensive modifier -1, or allow them to pillage one longboat swaggering. Is it worth it to you, one longboat swaggering?
You know, I really hate them, though.
I do too.
I really dislike the Jenolan, so I'm actually okay with killing them.
I think killing the Jenolan is probably a good enough start for this game. So let's go into our actual tables. If you guys are, I'll try flipping the card again or getting out of it and getting back in. When Conrad comes, we'll see if we can get the server up and running. I'm down on the Q&D, and I'm on
Shallows.
No. We're doing ship to ship now, Mike.
Well,
it's it's ship actions, right? Yeah, you're going to
ship engagements, the sail, the board, command the board.
We start with ramming speed, unless you guys want to retreat away from them. I assume you guys are going to want to attack them, and we're going to go ahead in individual encounters. I'll go ahead and over to Laura. Laura, this first card is a star for you.
Laura
and I think there's major tarot for the ship engagements.
Yes, there is.
There are. Enemy gets we may not assail, apparently.
Enemy seeds to employ legion's worth soldiers. The players may not select assail actions.
It is inverted, so the group's vessel instead has longboat chartered path. A fail means the next event. We don't have it, so we don't lose it. But your actual card, Laura, is going to be a Knight of Swords, a Bane. I'm not sure if there are Banes for... I guess there are Banes for... ship engagement, ramming speed, Bane. Bane Knight for you, Laura.
Bring out the whip. Use the lash to keep the oarsman focused. Fail and lose any swaggering technique. This loss may be taken personally or from your weapon or magical abilities. It may even be suffered collectively on the group's longboat. It may not be taken from your mount. A ship with no techniques has sunk. Continue with digressions. Against large plus adversaries, the difficulty increases by 3.
They are not.
Okay, so...
Are you a slave driver?
I'm pretty sure I'm not, so I think it's going to be a 7 on 2 dice.
An 8. This battle is at -1 to dice.
Yes. Thank you, Mike. An 8 to keep from losing swaggering.
I am not a slave driver.
Aw. But she has made the roll.
Good job, Laura.
And we move on to Mike's card. Mike, you got yourself an High Priestess.
Okay.
It's good to get rid of those in this table than in the other one.
That's the disembark table that we don't have, correct?
Or the other 6 table, the other 6 Q&Ds that you don't have. Yes. Okay. Follow the battle. The selecting player receives a wizardry technique. I'll give it to you now. And you would receive 14.
I already have Voltaic.
Wait a second now. Following the battle, the selecting player receives any wizardry technique as a bonus learned in the action. This bonus may not be used to make another technique locked as glorious. However, it's any technique that you don't have, Mike.
Correct.
So you have at least one you do not have, correct?
I have 4 I do not have.
Pick one of them.
I will at the end of the battle.
Well, that's fine. I would do it now so I wouldn't forget, but that's just me being old. We're going to go on to your actual card. It's going to be a 4 of Rods Bane, Mike.
A 4 Bane? Banes are awesome. Right, Rusty?
Always don't. You guys are taking all my Banes. What the heck?
Awake something that has slept on the planet bottom for an eon. In this case, I did that just by reaching over the side and going, "What's that?" and poking it. Fail and lose any swaggering technique. This loss may be taken personally or from your weapon or your magical abilities, may be suffered collectively on the group's longboat, may not be taken from your mount. Difficulty 10, advantage Wizardry Conjuration. I do have Wizardry Conjuration. I am looking for a 10 on 3 dice.
11.
An 11 on 3 dice.
11 on 3 dice for defensive modifier. Thank you, Rusty. And Mike is through. Greg, here comes your card on ramming speed. How about a 6, Bane?
Just a moment.
Ooh, 3 Banes in a row.
Yeah.
Very nice.
This.
It's in the chat for you, Greg.
Yeah, I don't have a screen. I had to fix my laptop here.
Do you want me to read it for you?
I got it.
Okay.
Bane, ramming. Keep a steady chant to ward the ship from arcane perils. Black shapes forming in the water. Fail and add half a d8 steps towards oblivion on your tally of warped outcomes. Do not resolve that result. Add tally only. Difficulty 10, advantage wizardry hexes. Oh, am I a wizardry hexes? I don't think I am, but let me double check.
On 11 on 2 dice, you pick it up. Otherwise, you're going to add some warped outcome tally to yourself.
Come on. Sorry, I'm working on a laptop instead of my large monitor right now, so
It's tiny.
Yeah. Not wizardry hexes, and so I needed to roll, what was it, a 10 on 2 dice?
11.
11. Oh, that wasn't good.
That won't do it. So your half d8, here it comes.
All right.
You're going to add 4 to your warped outcome
my
tally.
gosh, you've been
What-
rolling those highs.
What is your present warped outcome tally? You don't actually resolve this event, but
It's 16 currently.
okay. So add 4. You're now at 20, or is that the 16 after they add in the 4?
No, I'm going to be at 20.
Okay, going to be a 20, but you don't generate an outcome. I go on to Tony. Tony, here's your card on ramming. It's a queen and it's a bane.
Of course it's a Bane. Queen, reach across the waters for a mental wrestling match against the enemy commander. Fail and knocked unconscious. Difficulty 8, advantage wizardly psionics. Am I a psionic? I'm not a psionic.
You need a 9 on 2 dice to pick it up.
I have succeeded.
Okay. It must just be a pirate hunch for you or a Viking auspice, because
That's
you're not
4
really
Banes in a
magic.
row.
And it comes
No.
over to me. Do I get a bane? And I get the Hanged Man card, but it is a bane. But let's see what that says. It's probably going to be, if we fail a roll, we're going to lose something else. In the inverted, if the group's vessel has longboat undamaged, a fail result on the next event means the technique is lost. My actual thing is the judgment. I'm risking 2 of these, aren't I? No, the judgment is not inverted. Major Tarot judgment tells me that
Free mount technique.
following the battle, the selecting player receives any mount technique as a cautionary bonus. That's nice. And the actual event is a 3 of rods.
Hold on,
ramming.
Red. Read the rest of that judgment. If this card was selected during ramming, which it is, player character is knocked unconscious.
Well, then I'm knocked unconscious with my. Is that? I don't get my mount. My mount.
I think you
Yeah,
get
it's
the
the end
battle.
of battle.
Following the battle, you receive any mount. This bonus may not be used to locked. If this card was selected during ramming, the player character was knocked unconscious. So I would say you
I'm
get your
knocked
mount.
unconscious as I'm petting my new mount.
You're dreaming of your new mount.
Yeah, I'll just go right down the line and I'll pick up Agile with that. And I am knocked out.
Agile mount just kicked you in the head.
How about Conrad's not with us? Laura, how about you take that 3 of rods and put us someplace where we might be able to win?
Is it a bane?
It is not.
You skipped me, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Rusty. How about Rusty gets that 3 instead? Go ahead, Rusty.
And I wanted
Rusty's
a Bane.
stealing the non-Banes. Come on.
I
what
wanted
the
a
heck?
Bane.
Oh, come on. This is right up your alley, magic guy.
Call down a few bolts of strike the enemy mass. Success, and all players gain tactics pip. Difficulty 12, advantage wizardly voltaic. So I'm looking for 13, and I definitely have wizardly voltaic.
13 on 3 dice, please.
Let's see. That's an N. I don't think I'm going to try and get it glorious. Okay, we'll wait on the glorious. And I made it. So we all get a tactics pip.
I'm actually seeing some cards flip from somebody, so Conrad may be active now.
That's actually me. I was playing with it, so I was trying to get it to work.
So I see Tony's cards flipping.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out of mine and just relaunch it from scratch, and then see if I can get the card flipper to work. We have used a couple of cards. We'll pretend that I got to reshuffle, even though I didn't. And here it comes.
Didn't see anything.
Yeah,
I'm still loading. At least I think I'm still loading. Taking a long time. I got a lot of stuff on this desktop.
If you want, I can be the card flipper for you.
That's true. You could be the card flipper. How about this?
It said red joins.
Okay,
we
how
saw
about,
it. Nine of coins.
Nine of coins.
How about a 9 of coins will be the one thing we'll do after we, well, here. Let's
Interesting.
Let's just
update the what's it called, though?
There you go. We'll just start from scratch. All right, so Rusty, you actually did call down the lightning and got the tactics pip, so we're no longer -1 defensive modifier. I go on to Laura. Laura, here's your card. How about a 6 of cups? Ramming.
Bane?
It is not a Bane.
Strange. The card's not updating for me.
Shoals.
You don't see the 6 of cups, Tony?
No.
You have to go back in as not the.
Yeah, were you referee still, or?
Yeah, well, I went back and joined as non-referee. Yeah.
Oh,
Difficulty 12. Still.
I'm getting it.
Success players gain a second tactics pip. Laura, go ahead and give me a 12. And she made it because she is a cartographer. What's double tactics pip there, Mike?
I think double tactics pip is double enemy losses inflicted by party for rest of combat.
I think we also going to interpret that as that the ramming has now become boarding. Now, are we restricted in that we can't assail? Is that did that come up, or was that just
correct? We cannot assail.
No, wait a second. That was if it wasn't inverted, but the card was inverted, so we were risking.
I think
loss.
because it was inverted, we can't assail.
Go back and look.
Yeah.
I see your godling things. The Jenolan entered. I see where that happens. If the no, it's because it was inverted. The group's risked longbow charted path, Mike. So I don't think that happened to us. All right, so I go over to you, Mike. You can assail, you can command, or you can do something outlandish.
What the hell? I'll try outlandish to board.
Okay, how about if we go with 3 outlandish for you?
How about if we go with 3 outlandish for me?
Okay.
This deck has got no Banes yet.
It's the
We like this deck.
Broken deck.
Yes.
Of course, I'm wearing those glasses that invert everything I see. So, and maybe when I was on the honor system here, I was cheating you guys. Go ahead and you're 3, Mike.
Yes, you brought a loot to the fight, but is now the time to learn to play stairway? I mean, play in a stairway. I mean, play in the galley. I mean, why are you below decks anyway? Fail and knocked unconscious. Against large plus adversaries, the difficulty increases by 3. Difficulty 13, advantage skill minstrel. Surprisingly,
it's actually a 12 because we had a tactics pip that canceled the defensive modifier. And are you a minstrel, Mike?
Surprisingly, this surprises me. I am a minstrel.
Give me 3 dice for a 12.
Why did I take that?
Oh, you're not
so I could sing. So I could sing the chant.
You sing the praises of Tony.
There you go.
Of the old gods. It's part of my occult scholar thing. I would sing in their old language.
I thought Tony was one of the old gods, is what we determined.
Yeah.
Yes, you are successful, so you do not knock unconscious. I'm still knocked unconscious. Greg,
That's
would
a good
you like
thing
to
be unconscious?
Would you like to assail, command, or outlandish?
I forget which one. I thought outlandish.
Assail is a good one always.
Assail is a good one. I'm assailing.
6 for you, sir.
All righty. 6. The chat. Where once 3 men stood, a shattered pile remains. Success and gain Fury Pip, but fail and knocked unconscious. Difficulty 11, Swagger, Crushing Blow. Let me look at my swaggers. The Swagger, Crushing Blow. It's personal, right?
Yes.
It is.
Crushing Blow.
We do have G on the ship, so you can take 3 dice using the Treachery Expunge if that's your desire. Or you can try to roll, since there's no advantage. Well, there is fail, knocked unconscious. You can try to roll that 11 and pick up Crushing Blow, Greg.
I have Crushing Blow.
Oh. Would you like to roll an 11 and lock it as glorious? But if you fail the roll, you lose it.
Roll is 3 dice. Let him get it.
11, right? All right.
3 dice get the Fury Pip. That'd be good.
There you go.
Ooh. Pick any 2 of those. The Fury Pip is had by Greg. I go over to Tony. What would you like to do, sir?
I'm allowed to assail now?
Yes, you're allowed to assail.
I will assail then.
How about if we give you a king, but it's a bane?
Well, of course.
There are no banes in assail.
Oh, okay. Leap from boat to boat with 2-fisted fury. Success in all players move to engage for victory. Against large plus adversaries, the difficulty increases by 3. Difficulty 9. Advantage skill brawler. Am I a brawler? I am a brawler. How about that?
3 dice for a 9 to allow me to engage commander.
There you go.
All right.
But you're still unconscious, aren't you?
That's right. Thank you. How about Rusty engage commander? Rusty, you got yourself the death card engaging commander.
Aren't you glad you're unconscious?
Oh, not usually. Sometimes those majors are you get things.
The servitor soldiers plead for staid leadership. The player may not select outlandish actions. Inverted. It's not. Okay.
We're actually past that, which is nice, but it could go back there. How about a knave, though, Rusty? That's never a good card.
Oh,
engage commander knave.
I wanted the bane. Okay, the enemy performs an act of cruel desperation. Fail, and all players take events on setback until one of them's successful. Gains the result of an obstacle removed. Regardless, all players gain Fury Pip. Difficulty 9, advantage Blade Amalgam. Let's see. I am not Blade Amalgam. I do have paralysis on magic, but that doesn't count, right?
You can substitute your magic for anything in the game that's lettered. So yes, you certainly can roll 3 dice and give everyone a Fury Pip.
Paralysis?
Well, no, it's actually it's avoid the setback.
Right.
3 dice for 9, please, to avoid setback.
That works, and. Let's see, because I rolled 3 dice, I don't get Blade Amalgam.
That's correct.
And but we all got the Fury Pip regardless, right?
Now, Greg is already Fury Pipped, right? So does that put Greg at a Fury Pip times 2? Because that's a choice to kill half a D8 enemies or 1 large plus.
Or I thought it also is gain the Catbird seed, or is that command twice?
That's command Pip 2.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll give a +1 tactical benefit to the party because Greg got double Fury. Normally, I think in other games like Era 10, Fury and Fury again means you share the Fury with another player. Thanks, Mike. Double. We'll just read it as we read it. Double Fury is choice to kill men or 1 large plus adversary, but there is no. This is a collective battle, so that's not going to help him here. I will go ahead and move to Laura. Laura, engage commander for the win with the Fury Pip. I'll give you a 7.
7s are good.
Immobilize the leader's wrist with a lash or via magical means. Fail roll and force back to boarding. All players will take actions as a sail command or outlandish. Difficulty 9, advantage blade meshed. I think I might have. I guess it's 10, isn't it?
Q. No. We've got. Now it's an 8.
It's an 8 because of the double Fury flare that I applied to the battle, but it's also you have the Fury Pip, so it's only a 6 to pick up blade meshed.
Oh.
Is it glorious?
No, it's not.
6 on 2 dice to lock it.
Yeah, 3 dice I rolled a 7, Mike.
Oh.
3 dice, and she got her 7, so we have ended this battle with the Jenolan. It was a reasonably good battle. I would think Greg could probably pick up an ignoble for that. My guy getting knocked out. I don't think I'm. Well, it's sort of intrigue and adventure. I'm only level 1. I'll check that, and we move on. My level 7s. I'm afraid you probably do not gain much from that.
What would I pick up for that?
Could get battle.
You could pick a battle.
Battle's always.
At level 3, he cannot pick up battle for that.
Oh,
No.
well.
Which ones are you missing, Greg?
I am missing Bard's Tale Battle, Crafty Deeds.
How about Bard's Tale?
Bard's Tale.
First time, it may be for you the first time you killed the Owlman. I can't remember if you were back with us that far. Now, Tony, you have actually hit the X, so I'm going to rotate this over to Rusty.
Hold on, but the X, this was, I might have gotten something wrong. Wasn't this the ruins of Atlantis, and we had to fight these Jenolans, and then we were going to go to Q&D disembark?
So here's what happened with all of that, Mike. The Q&D will actually, because it was a separate battle, I'm just going to treat it as what happened with the ruins of Atlantis.
Okay. So for a level 7 character, then, I can check Bard's Tale and Fame because I discovered Atlantis.
No, you cannot.
Aww.
Because you did not discover Atlantis, you discovered some ruins underneath the water, which we're calling the ruins of Atlantis because we need to name them something to the crew. And if there was only one, then yes, I would probably give you that, but the ruins of Atlantis appear all over the map. So from here, Rusty, you can move north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast. You can even hopscotch if you want. You're going to pick up that boat encounter and counter, and you're going to move yourself in a direction and take a baby step somewhere. Tony did quite well for the moment.
He did.
Yes,
I'm going to go
snakes.
that way.
Okay. And it takes me a moment, but there, you're good, Rusty. Where are we going to go from there?
Let's see. Well, we'll go to the west.
All right. That one I don't think you got away from. I think you walked right into it.
I think I did too, yeah.
Let's find out what that is. Bad places.
Omega, underlined Omega. Okay.
Yeah. You're trapped by the Nets of Aquata. Dark voids erase wizardry. Well, there's a chance you'll resist it, but it's not. The degree is based on the number that you already have, unfortunately, Rusty. So for you,
20.
Yes, Rusty, the Nets of Aquata have taken away one of your wizardry. Take it away. I'll go around the table. Laura, how many wizardry do you have?
Wait, Rusty lost his swaggering technique?
He lost a wizardry technique of his choice. Laura, which wizardry? How many wizardry do you have?
Looks like 12.
12?
Double check.
Double count. 12.
12. Give me a tasking roll, Laura. For you, it's a 9, or you lose one of them. And she saved her wizardry. Mike, how many wizardry do you have?
I have 17, but I'm also chuckling because Rusty lost one. And
I see that, but you automatically lose one as well.
Ah, that's fine. I can still level up.
Yes, you can. And Greg, how many wizardry do you have?
Let me take a peek here. I believe I have 4.
4. Give me a roll of 12 on 2 dice, so you lost one.
Hang on. I gotta check Derek. Wizardry, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give you a roll of 12 or I lose one. All righty.
Correct.
2 dice. 2 dice of a 7.
So check one off that you no longer have it. And Tony, how many wizardry do you have, sir?
Far too many. So 10. Let's take off one.
10. No, yours would be a roll of a 9. And that 8 to 12, you need to make a tasking roll to save your wizardry. So a roll of a 9 and 2 dice, you save your wizardry.
Can I choose to fail?
Well, in a way, I guess, yes. But no, you hold on to it. And me, I only have 2, so all I need to do is make a roll of a 7 to hold my 2. Let's see if I can hold my 2 here. And I did not. I'm not going to lose my pyrotechnics. I will lose my illusions. I think I just picked that up last adventure.
I just gained precog and lost precog. Didn't see that coming.
That's not desires fulfilled, losing my wizardry, although it sounds like it could have been desires fulfilled for you, Tony. And Rusty has hit an anchor with that. He's calling it an omega symbol. I'm calling it Libra, the balance. It looks like a balance to me. But go ahead, and now we move on to Laura. Laura, pick up that boat and move it in a random direction. To some degree, you're trying to get to Aquata in the middle. And there's more to this map than meets the eye as well.
I already checked it for that level, but otherwise I would have asked.
Okay. Figure I made it really tiny so I could see past my character sheet. Okay.
Okay, straight to the south. And it is clear. So where do you go from there? Over to the east, or were you just moving out of the way? Oh, over to the west, I should say. I'm becoming.
You said you're wearing your glasses that reverse everything.
Angularly challenged tonight. How about that, Laura? Where would you like to go from there? Okay, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Because I want you to be pulling the boat again. All right, so you're over in the mud again. But you're still pulling, Laura. Where would you like to go from the mud?
So much for the benefit of the doubt. Just think of that water thing, right?
She wants to hit the red thing.
And it is another Net of Aquata.
Oh, no.
Oh, the crying shall begin. Rusty, you still have 19, which makes it impossible for you not to lose another one. So go ahead and take one off.
I assume I cannot just make a glorious to a non-glorious?
No, you cannot take... if you have none that are non-glorious, you do not lose.
No, I do have some that are non-glorious.
Yeah, you have to take one of the ones that are non-glorious. Laura, how many wizardry swaggering do you have?
12.
Still 12. Give me that roll of a tasking 9, please.
Okay.
Still got it. And Mike,
16.
16 is still an impossible roll. Take one off. And Greg, how many do you have? You have 3 left now, right?
3 wizard, yeah.
Give me a roll of a 12.
12 still. Gosh. No modifiers on this, huh? All right.
Nope, it's just a 12 at your level.
No.
And so take one off. Tony, you're probably in that same situation where you're rolling a 9 to save one of your swaggering, and you still did it. And me, I've got 1 left, but it's marked as glorious. I cannot lose it, so it doesn't matter. I'm still Fireball Man. And we move on to Mike. It is now your turn to go ahead and decide where you're going to go from there.
Oh! Let's do that.
Let's do that. That frightened me. It was at an angle that normally people do not move on those directions. How about if I just open that up just a little bit like that? Where you want to go from there?
I'll follow this little line of mud and... we'll just call it that red skull and crossbones, shall we? Because that's much more fun than avoiding.
It's always fun to hit
danger.
Things. All right, so the red skull and crossbones is a longboat swaggering to mitigate for the best letter of the vessel. So the best letter that we have on the vessel, if I can go over to my longboat techniques, is Arcane Sentinel. And there's a chance we're going to lose Arcane Sentinel. So I'm going to look for Occult Scholar and Linguist. Do we have any Occult Scholars? Do we have any Linguists?
I am both.
Well, then you'll probably be the one that would make the first attempt. You can only have 2 guys on your boat that can do these. Linguist.
Rusty.
I have a cult
I'm sure he's
scholar,
a
but
cult
not
scholar and a
linguist.
linguist.
No, I have a cult scholar, but not linguist.
Now you have a total of, it looks like 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. So the rolls are going to be, with 14, they're nearly impossible rolls if you have both the skills, and it's an impossible roll for just having one. So our highest level people should try this. So Mike, your roll is, you have both. You need a 7.
First, I'm gonna call up something, and the last 2 Nets of Aquata, I'll just treat it as I snossed, I lost. But remember, I am protected by Glitner, so all of my rolls are 1 degree difficulty easier when we're not on a Q&D.
That's true. So casting becomes difficult. You need a 5, sir. That's an easier roll to save your Arcane Sentinel from this Skull and Crossbones. And you have successful. And Mike, what ignobles are you missing here toward the end?
I am looking for Adventure, Bard's Tale, and Magic. I don't think this is going to fit any of those.
You're about half an adventure, I think, with that one, because both the Nets of Aquata and this skull are new to you guys. We're going to the Sea of Azov. I go on to Greg. Greg, are you able to pick up the longboat and move it in any direction?
Let's see. All I see is
zoom in, and they've been moving along the lower portion of the map.
the lower portion of the map.
Yeah, you can see the red X, the skull and crossbones.
I see the longboat. I can move it in any direction, you said.
Yes, move it in any direction, or you can go back to a point you've already been on and move it from there if you wish.
Why don't we go like over here?
Okay.
Can I move?
That's obviously good because it's got a skull and crossbones.
Well, we moved
or was
off.
that the one we were just on?
That was what we were just on. I just moved off.
Oh,
of it.
okay.
All right, where are you going to move from there, Greg?
Oh, well, there's nothing there. I say we continue up the coast here a little bit.
Okay, you're dragging your boat through the mud.
Oh no, yeah, I'm trying to keep off the mud, but I'm near.
Okay, you can stay off the mud. That's fine.
I can't see what I moved to, so I don't know if I'm actually off the mud or not.
You moved into an area of more wreckage under the water of Atlantis.
Oh.
Let's not call it Atlantis, or Michael want more experience. We're going to go to, again, we're going to go, the discovery means that everyone's going to explore. It's Q&D disembark for the whole party. Let me find out what the first thing of disembark will be for the full party. Card. It's an ace. Off the boat ace. I'd ask Mike to post this, but I know he can't because he doesn't have the table yet. I wanted to have some secrecy here. And we get this. Go ahead and read it, Greg.
Off boat, rouse ace. Avoid the chaos which thrives at twilight. Success by anyone gives the catbird seat +3 for each player's next roll. If situation is mud, difficulty increases by 3. Condition, trait energetic, difficulty 9, advantage, mount radiant.
All right, well, it's actually for anyone with energetic trait, Greg, so we'll start with you. Do you have the energetic trait, sir?
Let me go look at myself. Where the hell are my traits on this?
It's at the very top of your sheet.
I'm looking at the one on Space Scammer here. Let me look at the one here. That's faster. I am bold, clever, energetic, and gifted.
Okay, so you may try the roll. Do you have Mount Radiant F?
Indeed, I do.
Go ahead and give me 3 dice of a 9.
Gosh, I am stinking today.
No catbird seat for Greg. How about if we go to Tony? Are you energetic, sir?
Yes, of course I am.
Give me a roll of a 9. Are you Mount Radiant?
Mount Radiant. Let me have a look. Mount Radiant. Am I not seeing that?
We do have Arcane Sentinel. You can roll 3 dice with at if you wish to get the catbird sync for the next time.
Radiance F, Foxtrot.
Okay. It's a 9. You know what?
It's with Demonic, Defender, and Disarming Blow.
Yeah, let's try to be greedy with. I'll just try to roll 2 dice to pick it up.
2 dice for a 9 to pick up Mount Radiant.
There you go.
Terrific. And over to me. I am energetic. On a 9, I pick up Mount Radiant. And, of course, that's nice to have. Yes, and I am Mount Radiant. I also got +3 on the Catbird seat. And we move over to Rusty. Rusty, are you Mount Radiant?
I'm energetic, but I am not Mount Radiant.
Okay, well, why don't you go ahead and take... I'm sorry, that's the way I should have asked it. Give me a 9 on 2 dice to pick up Mount Radiant and also get the Catbird seat in your next roll.
I got it.
And I move on to Laura. Laura, are you energetic? I think you're all the traits, correct?
I'm not gifted. I am energetic, though.
Okay, give me 2 dice for a 9 to pick up Mount Radiant. Unfortunately not. And but your level, roll twice.
She gets to roll twice, right?
Yeah. And you are. And the Catbird seat of +3 you also pick up for your next roll on these tables. And Mike, on a 9 you pick up...
Not energetic.
Not energetic. Okay, and that is our one encounter for these in the ruins of Atlantis for the moment. I move on to it was actually a good card in Ace, and I move on to Tony. We're back around to you since Greg was the last one to move the ship.
Okay, let's go straight up to there.
Oh, you sure?
I'm certain.
Of course, because what would it matter one way or another at this point?
Yep. It's either there's a red spot or it's
free will is an illusion.
Lunchtime doubly so.
Okay, where are you going to go from there?
Go right up over here.
Okay.
Shoot. N. Not N.
N is the one that we're going to put to the test. All right, now here's the way this works. Bad places, letters. Swagger peril. You're going to avoid losing swagger based on the result for having 2 and the degree of difficulty of a table here. No swagger, then suffer warped outcomes. So I'm going to start with Tony. Do you have swaggering N?
N, which is Killer Instinct? I do.
You also
In
have...
fact, I got a whole bunch of it.
You also got the Longbow Vermin Free. Is any of it any of it not locked at Glorious?
Yeah, I do have it. Impetus and Lucid are not locked at Glorious.
All right, so depending upon which you want to choose the one in the category where you have the least of. For instance, you have less blade than mount. You want to choose the blade. So which one do you have the least in? It makes the roll easier.
I have mount. I have the fewest in.
How many do you have in mount?
I have 9.
9. So it's going to be a tasking roll. For you, it's a 9, but you have the Catbird seat. It's a 6 to keep your N mount.
Okay. 6. 2 dice. I succeeded.
And we move on to me. I do not have Killer Instinct, Impetus, Lucid, or Voltaic, but I do have the boat. So I'm going to roll for the boat. We look at the boat. The boat has, we counted them before, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. It would be a nearly impossible roll for me. This is just sort of the bad luck of the order. And I'm going to roll nearly impossible to see if I can protect the boat. And a 4. Did I do it? I most certainly did not. We lose Vermin Free from the boat. So I've been coaxing rats on board to come on board. Somebody tell me to stop that. Rusty, do you have any N that's not locked as Glorious?
Yes, Voltaic on Magic.
Is that the only one? You don't have Killer Instinct, Lucid, or Impetus?
Nope.
Oh, that's a shame because you are still 16 Wizardry. You have lost your Voltaic.
Oh, jeez. That's 3 I've lost.
That's 3. Yeah, if I take 10 by the end of this, I'll be both a happy man and a sad man for punishing you so. Laura, do you have any N's?
Yes.
I can't use a make roll?
Not on an impossible roll, no. You can you can start using your make rolls when it's nearly impossible, not for impossible roll. Impossible is impossible. Laura, do you have any ends?
Just voltaic.
Just voltaic. And I do believe you said that you were 12 wizardry, so you're going to be rolling a tasking again, which is a 9 and +3 because you're catbird seed. And Laura's protected her magic again. Mike, do you have any?
The only thing I have is voltaic, which is not glorious. I have 16 magical techniques, which would still be an impossible roll, except I have the power of Glittner behind me, which means that is a
15.
A nearly impossible roll of a 14.
So do a make roll and save it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and Rusty, use Rusty's suggestion and just save that.
Okay, and you've saved it, which is terrific. Greg, do you have any swaggering of N?
Of N, just a moment. N. Not a 1. I have none of them.
All right, so Greg, your warped outcome has gone up another 3. You're at 23. We don't resolve that, and we go on to Tony. We already started with you, so that's it for Tony. And Tony was the one who moved us, so we go over to Rusty. Rusty, from the letter N, where would you like to move?
Let's see if I can find some more omegas here. We got 3 down, 7 more to get to half. Okay. Let's try there.
All right. And where would you like to go from there?
What? No omega?
No omega. There are a total, if I'm counting correctly, of... there's a lot of omega. I think there's 8 omega. You found 2.
Well, I've got 8 more to go.
Where would you? Oh, right from there. That's not
right up,
place.
Right up the north, up to the northwest. Yes.
Okay, now what?
Oh, that's a toughie.
Come on, Rusty, you can make it. You can make it.
Oh well, let's do it this way. Let's go northeast.
Northeast.
And I hit a skull.
And skulls, our longboat swaggering needs to be mitigated again. And we're still at that Arcane Sentinel, Mike. So Arcane Sentinel means that you need to make your roll of Occult Scholar and Linguist. And we determined it was what? It was tasking, but for you it drops to difficult, so
I need to be 7.
7 on 2 dice.
I can do that. See?
7 on 2 dice. Barely made is all you need.
When do we get to use our catbird seat?
On the first roll that you need to make, Rusty, Mike has already used his catbird seed, I believe.
No, I haven't. I used a make roll.
Yeah, he used a make roll.
I don't think I earned a catbird seed because I didn't take an action on that table to earn
you have one, Rusty, and Mike has. Well, Mike didn't earn one. I remember he wasn't energetic, but you still have your catbird seed on any first roll you make, Rusty.
Okay.
We're going to go on to. I believe I have used mine. I can't remember, but I think I did. I know a couple of other players have used theirs, Laura and Tony. I'm going to go on to, I moved to Laura. Laura, you're moving the boat. Where would you like to go?
Well, Laura, straight up.
Straight up, I would think, because you just hit us with one, but who knows? It could be all of them. Every place around her's got something.
Sort of at a half angle there, I'm going to call it.
Were you just going northwest, Laura?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going northwest.
Trust Tony and Laura to charge directly at the goddess. I mean, I keep circling around. I was going to circle around and try and get to those Amazons.
All right, so you make it to Aquata, but you realize that by now she should have been above the water, but there are three, count them, three counter plans that are refilling the Sea of Azov as we drain it. So you need to stop the three counter plans.
Which, of course, are in other places.
Yes, which either
Those are the enemies.
Yeah, so more Omegas. All right, got it.
It's 6 Omegas, Rusty.
Well, let me guess. We have to visit those things on the map that Tony was saying we don't want to visit, like say the Amazons.
No. They're not going to be on. They're not going to be on solid ground. Okay, so that's a gimme. Okay. Anything you can see, I could possibly bring to help you or hurt you, but it would be prompted by the table itself. Like that dragon below. I don't think I've wrote the dragon in there. There's enough going on here. But from here, Laura, you move in any direction. You're looking for... Well, let's just speculate for a moment. If you guys are using the tide clock to lower the water, something is adding more water in. How is that possible? Ideas?
Magic.
River.
Ungmar's trying to kill us.
Magic what, Mike? I mean, Greg.
I don't know, sea gods.
The sea gods themselves are not doing it. Anyone else?
It's not Ungmar. I mean, I'm assuming he's not pissed off enough where he's just trying to kill us, so we stop talking to him.
Well, it could be any control the weather, having some rain.
Rain. Okay. So some places raining, deluge. That could be.
There could be a flow from a river.
Could be a flow from a river, sure. All right, so Laura, where are you gonna move to first? I'm not gonna tell you that you need to reveal the whole map. I'm just gonna tell you that you're gonna reveal a lot of it.
You got to reveal 6 more Omegas, Laura.
And snakes. Got to find the snakes.
Let's make sure I didn't miscount here, Rusty. I don't want to cheat you on your Omegas.
That water at the bottom of the map looks like that could be a river feeding into it.
Also, maybe consider flipping to the campaign map to take a look at what this is when it's not drained.
Down there, okay.
Yeah, that's a river over there.
Okay.
I like it. All right, where to?
What is that? Is that an island? Land? What is that gray?
It's a mud bar.
Mud.
It's a mud bar.
Mud bar. Okay, got it.
And it's stuck in the mud.
So just if you look at where the boat is, you can see the gray is the mud, the yellow is the sand, and the other color is solid ground that you do not enter.
Oh, we don't enter?
Trees and farmland and things like that. No, you don't enter those.
If you stay on the shore, maybe there's no Omegas on the shore in the mud. And that would also, if we would have to circumnavigate the whole thing till we found the river that might be, if it is a river, that might be flowing in.
I note on the campaign map the main rivers that enter into this the Sea of Azov would be in the northeast of the Sea of Azov.
What about the one itself?
That's why I said if you blip over to the campaign map briefly, you'll see what this looks like when it's not drained. There aren't rivers to the south. The Sea of Azov looks like it exits into the Black Sea.
Well, there's a Black Sea that could be providing it.
Right? I mean, unless I'm wrong. Wait a minute. Let me go to the Sea of Azov.
But I mean, it could be coming through the Black Sea, draining it to us.
Campaign map. Well, I guess there is something way down there, but it might be way down there.
Well, I was going straight for that thing, and then he said we don't go on the land. So.
You won't double trigger an event. So if you move to that skull, you can
go south.
You can go south from there if you wish.
See what's there.
Okay.
I mean, there's a reason Red's hiding it, so in black.
Yes, there's always a reason.
To clarify, Red, I am reading this correctly. This rough circle you've drawn on the campaign map is the inset map for inset map for Sea of Azov, right?
Yeah, roughly, right? Yeah, that's where the Sea of Azov is, Mike, by Tumerican, Cherson, and the different things.
Okay.
Let me go back to my C here, make sure I wasn't.
Yeah, it does, but the rivers you're looking at are at the south end of that much bigger sea.
Oh, a nice book
map.
and a little icon. I'm sure that's all good. We found books of knowledge that restores my lost magics.
All right, so you can see that these servants of the Grey One are basically running an expedition that are building a canal to keep open the silt and move water from the Black Sea into the Sea of Azov. So you found one of the 3 plots.
Good job,
Now,
Laura.
You must dedicate at least 1 player to stay there and stop that perpetually from happening. And whenever the group gets other events on the tables, they will take their own event on foiling the plot of the canal. Do you follow?
I'll volunteer.
Rusty wants to volunteer because he doesn't want to be anywhere near those.
I don't want to particularly lose 6 more magics to Omega.
All right, so Rusty's going to stay behind. Does anyone else want to stay with him? And just to make sure you don't miss the final battle, when you finally find all 3 plots, then you'll take 1 more round of actions on those tables, and then you'll all re-meet to do the final against Aquata. So
Rusty will be fine by himself. Yep, he'll be fine.
Okay,
I'll be fine.
Laura, you're still moving.
Rusty's all super magical. He'll be okay.
Well, I was super magical.
You're still super magical.
And Laura, where'd you like to go next?
So I found a source, but it's not the only source of the
There's
water
2 more.
coming in.
There's 2 more.
There's 2 more books.
And there's 6 more Omegas. So
Yes.
All right, there you go. Okay, so you're going to come down to that. Let's see what that looks like. All right, where to, Laura? I think I got to give you that one. X. You guys remember X? X is the Q&D of Disembark. Now, Rusty's going to get his own action for the canals, and we'll do that first. And I go to my Sabotage the Sea Channel table, and I flip a card for Rusty, and he gets Temperance.
that's got to be good because it's a Bane.
And Temperance says, this actually affects the boat, not Rusty. And you get the Black Sea Lizard Men are coming to interfere. You can repulse them with Q&D skirmish, defensive modifier -5, or allow them to pillage a full D8 longboat swaggering. They will also settle for 1 cup of human blood. A player character takes a vicious wound. So this will not affect you, Rusty, because that flip of the card will affect the main longboat. And Laura, you are the one who found the Black Sea Lizard Men at defensive modifier -5. Would you like to take a vicious wound or volunteer somebody else to take a vicious wound to avoid the longboat loss, or did you want to fight this repulsing?
I would point out Red's only a level 1. We could hit him up with a vicious.
I am also rugged.
Any of the level 5s or higher that are rugged can erase a vicious wound for anybody with their rugged.
Yeah, but that uses their rugged, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's using their rugged treat, so they wouldn't have rugged anymore. That's
right, yeah, but you can just, if you want to make me give the cup of blood, Laura, I will happily do so to check desires fulfilled, and I will, and I'm rugged, so I can take the wound.
Okay. If you're volunteering to do it, sure.
That's very nice of you, Red.
Well, I mean, we can fight the Lizardmen, defensive modifier -5.
-5 is pretty tough.
There's a good chance I'm going to be injured by it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
at -5, we'd have to burn those trait bonuses that we're saving for the goddess.
I went to level 2.
And there's a good chance that I would get killed.
Oh, Red just leveled up for that.
And we're going to go ahead, and Laura's going to move in that direction. Actually, it wouldn't be your call, Laura. I'm going to move you back just a bit to make it fair. Move you back to the ruins of Atlantis, and then I'm going to let Mike be the person that moves the party next, please.
Don't we still have to resolve Rusty at the canals? That temperance got bounced to the boat.
Yeah. No, Rusty's result was the one that got bounced to the boat, so I'm treating it as Rusty's result.
Okay, so he's not taking you're not going to keep flipping for him till he gets a minor. Okay.
It's more to the point that I'm not going to flip a second card for you, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
And thank you, Mike. And which direction would you like to go, Mike? Did you want to follow the same philosophy of following the sandbar along the coast? That would be Laura's direction. Otherwise, the world is your oyster on finding bad things.
The river's going to be in the very north, probably.
Yeah. I'm going with my own logic that if there's anything happening with the river, it's that river coming from the northeast.
So you can get right back to Mut.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. There, you see where I've moved us right to where
absolutely. You can move right to there because the direct route by your hunch between Tamut, Arakan, and Aquata is the most perilous of the seas.
No, I've now gone north.
Okay, let me find that and I think I can give you that.
Okay.
All right, so where to from there, Mike?
I'm just gonna follow that. Keep following that silt north.
Okay. And you're not actually on the edge of the. You're not finding the sand that way. You're actually moving into open water or silty water that way. If you wish, you can still do that. But
sure.
Let me draw something.
Draw something.
Yeah, as in a bounty box. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so wait, that's that taupe-ish color. That's the mud, right?
That is the mud, correct.
You can still follow the mud in case it's the river.
If you think the dark area unrevealed at the upper northeast corner of the map is going to be where book number 2 is, you might as well just go ahead and continue what you're doing.
I do, but I'm going to keep kind of following that false shoreline of the
right. We found another Libra.
Sure.
So let's go around. We all know it by now. We're skipping Rusty because he's off the boat. Laura, you need to roll yourself a 9 to keep magic.
Or burn a merc roll.
And Mike, are you at 16 yet?
I'm at 16, but I'm still glittered, so I'm 1 degree down. So that would make is 16.
Yeah, you're right. So it's a 14 to keep your thing. You can make roll it again.
No, he didn't lose one. He's still at 15.
No, I'm still at 16.
Yeah, still at 16 minus 1 would be 15.
So if I lose one here, that's when I go down to my normal roll being a near impossible, right? Yeah, no, I don't have a catbird seed.
So at 15, the roll would be nearly impossible for me. For you, it would be tasking. At 16, the roll is impossible, which becomes nearly impossible for you.
You know what? I'll go ahead and risk this one, because if I fail, then that means my subsequent rolls are going to drop from 14 to 9, and that's a much better roll.
Okay, so you're at 16, and you're going to try to roll a 14 on 2 dice.
Yep.
Go ahead and try.
Nope.
Okay, so you lost one more. Greg, do you have any wizardry left?
I have 2 left.
Neither is locked as glorious, correct?
No, they're not locked.
Give me a roll of a 7 to keep them.
Yeah, do I have the option of burning a make roll?
You may, sure.
All right, I'm going to burn a make roll.
Okay, I go over to Tony. You have 10 of them left, I believe?
Still 10.
10. Give me a roll of 9 tasking, please.
Wow.
And you made it. And I only have 1 left, and it is locked as glorious. So that is our next encounter. And Mike, you have passed the baton to Greg. Greg, where do you want to move from here?
Let's take a look at the map. Oh gosh. We are way up there. I'm just going to do one of those maneuvers. I can't do it.
Mike, just describe what you were trying to do before.
Yeah, actually, because Mike had a plan.
Yeah, so Greg, if you toggle over to the campaign map for a second.
Yeah.
So you see that red circle? That is roughly the inset map we're looking at. So and it's actually Laura, I think it was Laura who said something may be happening with the river. So if you see on the campaign map, we've got those major rivers dumping into the Sea of Azov. So I was kind of aiming for that upper northwest corner, but northeast. I am also kind of following that mud around because my assumption is if water's being dumped from that northeast, it's got to cut a channel through this mud so that if we keep following the mud, we'll eventually find water that leads northeast. That's my thought.
You wanted to do that, then?
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, I could be wrong, and if you have your own plan that you think's better, go for it. That's my logic.
Because of the way my map was zoomed in, I couldn't tell there was more to the north of us, so I had to scroll around a bit. Yeah.
All right, so you found an exposed temple to the water gods. If you destroy that temple, I'll give you a quest pip of +1. How do you destroy the temple, Greg?
Ramming Steve. No, wait.
Well, it's possible.
Let's see. Well...
What are your two magics that you have left?
Well, I've got illusions and power words. The illusion of destroying the temple is not effective, I'm sure.
No.
Well,
might be.
And I don't think I can speak a power word that'll just bring it down, but that doesn't sound bad either.
What non-magic do you have?
Non-magic, I've got all sorts of stuff. Chiasmic action.
Probably throwing stones at this won't end it, though.
I've got a pretty good mount there.
You got a crushing blow to take out its corner
pillars.
Corner blow.
You got a mount that's got sturdy that you can pull it down with your mount.
No, he's talking fleet and radiant.
Yeah, those things are not going to help you here. He could basically form a lighthouse here if you wished.
No, thank you. Yep.
How about a blade Herculean?
No, my blade's just...
I'm going to pass you for a second, Greg. Tony, how do you bring down the temple? You may be... Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, that is a good question. To bring that temple, I would use... I would use my Herculean blade.
Terrific.
Because it's such a strong blade.
It's nearly impossible, but Tony has made it nearly impossible that we can bring down that. Now, Tony, you can use a make roll right now and bring the temple down and take credit for that, or you can pass it off to me and I will add to the skills that we have trying to bring it down.
Well, and I like the idea of using crushing blow to undermine some of the pillars as well.
I'll come right back to you as I go around the circle, Greg, all right? How about if we, Tony, it's option to use a make roll or pass it off to me?
I'll just use a make roll.
To you? Okay. Boom. Here goes the temple down.
That was a temple of the old gods, you bastard.
Yep.
And it's gone now. And I move on to Tony. You're moving the mice around now.
Back again.
Check something for that, bringing down the temple of the old sea gods.
That's a crafty deeds.
Okay, it is a crafty deed, absolutely.
And then I go up to 8th level.
Okay, you have become a Stellare, and you get 3 rolls for the remainder of these tables if you wish to stay on. Or you can start at level 0 and
well, maybe a little bit later.
And have people on the boat make you give up a cup of blood. Pick a direction there, Tony.
An ear, a leg, a cup of blood. What's the difference?
Let's see. We're there. I guess we'll stick with Mike's
half of the plan.
Yeah, go up there.
Okay.
Besides, Fred's not going to put the books close to each other. He's going to spread them out on the map so that we have to go around it, right?
I would think so.
It probably is a truism.
There's a reason why the black goes way off to the right.
Okay, so you've
places.
actually met the Atlanteans.
And they're upset that I destroyed their temple.
Well, they're upset by the whole desecration of the area here. So we're going to fight a battle against some Atlanteans. How about what do you guys need to go to check? I mean, I'm not going to make this beyond great for a level 8 to check, but
are these real Atlanteans?
These are real Atlanteans, yes.
Well, then I'll take my bard's tale at the end of the battle for finding real Atlanteans. Knock yourselves out, guys.
What should I make them? Should I make them immortal?
That's much. That's fun.
No, you're going to get a big battle when we fight
Aquata.
Yeah,
Aquata.
I agree with that.
Should I make
anybody
them
who
hard?
finds out what some of the lower levels need if they need heroic or something like that.
How if we make them large or nasty and I can check battle? All right, let's see if we can beat 4 nasty guys and I can check battle. All right, you're doing
You're
this.
just a level 1?
I'm level 2 now.
Oh, level 2? Okay.
Yeah. And
Greg, what do you have? Do you need heroic?
I just went up, so I need anything. Yeah, heroic could be great. But let's. So
this isn't something where the occult scholar linguist guy who would be really thrilled to meet Atlanteans could parlay and try and avoid this battle. We will just assume that's already happened and now they're itching for the fight. They're just ticked.
Give me a tasking roll of a 9, Mike.
Nope. Oh wait, I'm level 7.
It's the one time we need you to do what you claim that you can do forever and ever. No, you don't get to roll twice. It's tasking, and you blow it. You blow it.
Wait a minute. Well, I still don't get it because
you're itching for a fight. That's all it is. You were talking in retrospect, man. Maybe we should have actually gathered a few laurel leaves for these guys as you wiping the blood, or no, as you're wearing one as a hat. All right, so we got 4 nasty guys to fight. I left off with Tony. Let's start with me since this is my battle. I'm going to flip a card, and I could brash, calculate, defensive, or regular. No, I should probably do something like with my mount here since we're in the mud. I have 8 tricks. We picked up the +1 quest pip. That's going to give me +2 on the roll. And why don't I test, what's a good one, Mike? Empyrean, right? How about if I do a G and add 3 to the dice roll?
Sure, you can do that.
Yeah, I'll roll 2 dice and add 3. And it's locked as glorious too, so I actually have an advantage here. But it's only a damn roll of an 8. What is an 8 on G, Mike?
Brash.
Change method. Oh, to brash? Well,
yep.
At least I tried something and failed. Rusty is not within the battle. Conrad's on the battle. Laura, what would you like to do? Magical? Sure, you can flip a card for magical. How about a 3 of Cups, Bane?
3 Cups, Bane.
Shield yourself from the enemy's mind and body blast to have a good time to simply dispel all magical charms. Fail roll and knocked unconscious. If this action occurs in the underworld, it doesn't. Difficulty 7 advantage, wizardry, psionics, B.
And 6 and you pick it up.
Oh, that's psionics. No.
Oh, you already have psionics, I take it. Okay, then yes, you have avoided being knocked unconscious. I go over to Mike. What would you like to do, sir?
We're making them nasty, which means they do not surrender, correct?
Nasty is I thought horrible don't surrender.
Oh, okay. In that case, what I want to do is, and you know, we're kind of trying to get them to surrender. We're calling this my kind of trying to make them parlay.
You're trying it again.
Yeah, I'm trying it again. And I want to see if that would kill them. That would kill them. That would surrender. That is a runaway. That is a dispatch. I'm just trying to see if I can make them surrender with something that I've got locked. Of course, all of my stuff that's locked is glorious is my kill them all stuff. Oh, I can make them run away.
Okay.
I will make them run away. I am trying to use geomancy, To kind of.
Are you +3 in the dice or +4? I can't remember with your number.
I have 15 magical swaggering techniques. That makes me +4.
Okay, so go ahead and roll 2 dice and add 5, rolling twice for your level.
Okay, we'll take that 16, and that is half a D8 opponents or 1 large adversary runs away. Half a D8 would be just 1.
Okay, well they're not, since they're nasty, they're actually large plus. So they're at 3. There's 3 of them left. I go to Greg. What would you like to do, sir? Brash, magical, or pick one of your swaggering and apply it in the battle.
I'm gonna pick a little heroic sword play.
Okay, how many personal swaggering do you have, Greg?
6.
Okay, you're at
+1 to dice.
You're +1 to the dice, +1 for the quest pip. Give me 2 dice and add 2.
Wait a minute, Red. I'm sorry. Doesn't he get bonuses if he has a blade or a mounted K as well?
Ah, that's true. Do you have any other Ks besides heroic sword play? Do you have scintillating or resolute?
Just a moment. I will check.
And longboat.
I do not, actually.
You actually are +1 with your longboat as well, so go ahead and add 3 to the roll. I should have probably added a few more onto mine as well.
+3, there we go. So, what, 12, 15.
Treasury expunged.
Great,
Good
job.
Plus, dispatch 1, large plus. There are 2 left. I go on to Tony. And Tony may be muted or off a mic.
Oh, sorry. Yep, I'm muted.
That's
My
okay.
bad.
And
I will go. I will just go brash.
he wants a card. He's hunting for swagger. Here's a 10 of rods for you.
Not inverted.
Not inverted.
Oh, wait, that's
In the chat, Tony.
one. Rash. Lower your guard, goading a victim to lunge, after which you thrust home from the side. Optional success and one opponent runs away, regardless, against large. With large plus.
They are. They're nasty.
Okay, difficulty increases by 3. Skill, grit, fortitude, difficulty reduces by 2, which I have that. Difficulty 11, so 12 total. Swagger, feigns.
Quest pip. Quest pip, so it's only an 11.
Only 11. Okay. And I already have feigns locked as glorious. So
3 dice.
Everyone will have the fury pip now.
I'll get the fury pip. That's really nice. Thank you. There's one left, and it comes to me with the fury pip. Should I try the same thing again? No, I got to take a brash action, I believe, because I miscalculated. Correct. How about a 9 of rods for me, Bane?
A 9 of rods, Bane?
Yes, if you would like to post it, I will read it. Assess the enemy level of exhaustion against your own side. To temper your actions or press for an end to is the key for your survival. Fail and suffer a vicious wound. Slave driver. I am not a slave driver. I on a roll of 6 to avoid the vicious wound. +1 for the quest pip, +2 for the fury. I should make this, I would hope. And I did. Goes over to Rusty. We skip Laura. For the win. There's one guy left.
Do one of your swaggers that makes him surrender and we can capture an Atlantean. Come on.
I don't have any.
Oh, you must.
A magical, Laura?
I've looked before and didn't have any. Yeah, let's do magical.
And how about a 3 of swords, Bane?
Cool. Magical 3 of swords, Bane. That means I get to make him surrender.
There you go. Pluck one of your homespun remedies from a pouch you keep handy. That or take a swallow of moonshine for the comforting warmth. See, it's a perfect card for me. That or suddenly realize your pipe is still lit and taint tobacco. Well, that's you. Fail, roll, and suffer shaken. Flare if the adversary is enchanted. They're not, though.
Have you checked growth?
I think I probably have it. Have to check. Difficulty 12, advantage horticulturist, I think. I do have horticulturist, so...
3 dice for a 12. Oh, you've got a fury pip. It's a 10, but you made it.
And it is fail and suffer shaken. You're not shaken, and they're not
You
enchanted.
can take growth for booze.
She's already got it.
Oh.
She's already shaken her growth. And we go on to Mike. Mike for the win.
Okay, Mike wants to capture this last Atlantean because, hi, he's an Atlantean. And I have magical paralysis, which would make him surrender.
Nice.
I'm at +4 because of my number of techniques. I'm at +2 because of the Fury Pips. So I am rolling 2d8 plus 6. Rolling
Big
twice
number.
for my level.
I said big number. Go ahead.
It's not bad. A 6 and a 6 is a 12. Let's see what that 12 is going to give me. Helps if I have that queued up. So at a 12, half a d8 opponents or one large adversary surrenders. We have captured we have captured the Atlantean.
Okay, so Mike has got a friendly Atlantean with him as his prisoner.
Fame.
Fame for capturing Atlantean. Sure. And we were left off with who was the one to move there? That was that Greg or was that Tony?
I think it was Tony.
I go to Rusty. Rusty, where would you like to move the boat? The general consensus is we're going north. I took a battle for that, by the way, against the nasty guys. And where else are we going?
We'll basically go on the. I'm not in the water. I'm in.
Yes, you're down at the
mud.
You're down in the water.
I know,
waiting
but
to be triggered.
I'm going to keep the boat in the mud. We're dragging it.
Okay. And where to from there, Rusty?
Dragging it up the mud.
Dragging it up the mud. Notice what I did there.
No, what did you do there?
I thinned it so that I wouldn't go over one of the bad ones that's coming.
Okay, we're going to keep going up, dragging it along the mud.
All right.
Oh, what happened?
It did not. It's fighting me. Okay, there we go.
There's a G.
G.
Got it. G. G now is G swaggering. I start with Laura. G swaggering, Laura. Do you have any G swaggering?
Gosh, that would have been another magic I would have lost. Okay.
Treachery expunged. Or celestial.
Celestial. You wish to use celestial. You're gonna. How many wizardry do you have? It was like a roll of a tasking 9. Give me 2 dice for a 9 to keep your celestial, please.
I have celestial. I have crushing blow.
Oh, I'm sorry, crushing blow. How many personal swaggering do you have?
Including the girls.
Total.
I think 11.
11. 11 is going to be a tasking roll. You're going to need a 9 on 2 dice to save your crushing blow, unless it's locked as glorious, in which case you can't pick it. A 9, she saves it. Mike, what G's do you have?
G. I thought we were doing N.
No, N was last time.
G
This
is
G.
yeah.
This is
I
golf.
have a knightly blade and I have
A
celestial.
knightly. And how many blades do you have?
5, 6, 7.
7. 7 is going to be a difficult roll. For you, it becomes an ordinary roll. Give me a roll of a 4, please.
I think I can do that.
Greg, do you have any G's?
I have crushing blows, glorious, and nothing else.
That means you move to longboat, and longboat does have a G, treachery expunged. And the roll for that would be tasking. You need to give us a 14 on 2 dice or we lose treachery expunged, Greg.
Out loud. All right, just a moment. Do I have any bonuses?
+1 for the quest pip.
10 isn't good enough.
And I move on to Tony. Do you have any G's?
Oh yeah, I'll use Empyrean on the mount.
Imperial on the mount. How many mounts do you have?
I have 9.
9. 9 is going to be a tasking roll. You need a 9 on 2 dice.
No,
+1
I need
for the
a
quest
7.
pip.
I need a 7 on 2 dice. +1 for the
He's level
I'm
8.
now 8th level.
Oh, forgive me. So a tasking roll is only a 7 +1 for the quest pip is you need a 6, sir.
I have succeeded.
And over to me as the last roll. I have, it's G, huh? I have nightly, but I only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8. It becomes tasking. A 14. I need a 14 to keep my nightly. That's pretty tough. A 13 with the quest pip. And I missed it, unfortunately.
That's 13.
Yeah.
What's that? Did I make it? I made it.
You
Look
made
at
it. That's 13.
Wow.
You need to get the add the addition.
You know what I
there,
should do?
Make it easier on you.
And from now on, if you don't lose it, you locked it as glorious.
Oh, from
so
now.
If we find another N or G, the other 18 letters that are on the map, if you can roll and you actually make the roll, and you can use a make roll for it, you can lock them as glorious rather than lose them. We're going to go and from there we went to who hit the G? That was Rusty. We go to Laura. Where are you going from? Where you are, Laura?
You can either stay in the mud, Laura, or move to the sea, and still hug the coast. I was just going the mud.
How about if we give you that more Atlantis? So this is where Rusty's going to get a card defending the channel, and then we're going to find out what our card is off the boat exploring Atlantis. Rusty, your card defending the channel is a 10. Do we have?
And it's a Bane. I love Banes.
I don't think we have Banes for these. They're just normal. Your 10, I will post it for you, sir. Under sabotaging the channel. Go ahead and read it out.
Let's see. Know right where to ambush and the change of watch. Success by anyone gives the catbird seat +3 for each player's next roll. Conditions: skilled chartographer, which I am. Difficulty 9, advantage swagger, killer instinct. And let's see here. Swagger, killer instinct. I do not have killer instinct. I do have
Voltaic.
I do have chartographer, and so I do not have Voltaic. I've already lost that.
Did you have Empedus or Lucid?
No, nothing. Nothing in N. No
Okay,
N.
But you got a quest pip, so still just an 8.
Well, I also never used my catbird seat from the previous time.
That's fine. You can go ahead and apply it now. That means you're going to need a 5 on 2 dice to pick up Swagger, Killer Instinct.
Okay. That's precision.
That is precision. That's all you need, and everyone gains the catbird seat for their next roll, which is really nice. Now, our roll.
Does that include me?
Yes.
Thank you, Rusty.
Does that double catbird anybody?
Only me. But I used my catbird.
It would have double catbird Rusty. We're going to go on to our 6 under off the boat. Disembarked number 6. How about if we get Mike to read this one for us? And here it goes.
Clash with Aquata's nurslings or other emerging enemies. If no one is successful, one character at random off the longboat, Rusty, suffers a vicious wound. Condition: swagger, heroic swordplay. K. Difficulty 9, advantage, mount, inexorable. T.
Half the group is off the longboat because you're in the mud.
Well, it's we're all off the longboat because we're all part of this going to explore the ruins of Atlantis, and that's where we met Aquata's minions. So the first thing we ask is who has heroic swordplay or essentially any K that can cover for it.
Let's look at techniques.
Well, the longboat is noble allegiance, so we all get to attempt this roll. So, and at least one of us has to be successful to avoid the wound. So let's start with Mike. Mike, did you want to try to roll a 9? But you're adding 3/4 to your dice roll as a roll of a 5 to pick up mount inexorable.
Yeah, I'm going to roll this at 2. I don't have an exorable. I'm not going to use Cosmic to cover it. I'm going to try and pick that up. Like you said, we got a quest pip. We got a possible catbird seat. So, yeah, 15. I didn't even need my catbird seat.
Pick up your mount inexorable. I go to Greg. Pretty much the same roll. 3 for the catbird seat, 1 for the quest pip. On a roll of a 5, you pick up mount inexorable, Greg.
Okay. Let me get to the die rolling here.
Doesn't matter if you fail. Just 2 dice for 5.
There you go.
And Tony, 2 dice for a 5 to pick up mount inexorable.
Okay, I need mount inexorable.
Not anymore, you don't. Because you're going to roll that 5. See?
And it's over to me. On a roll of 5, I lock my mount inexorable as glorious.
Oh my gosh. Poor Red.
That's not fair.
Oh, well, there I lost it. It's too bad.
That's not fair. That's
And
horrible.
it goes to Laura as our last roll. On a 5, you pick up mount inexorable. And Laura picked up mount inexorable. And we move on now to, I'm going to do something really quick. I'm just moving these down. Don't worry about it, that these are disappearing. They're just, they're causing me a little bit of grief on my ability to turn on and off stuff. And there you go. Back in the game. Where would you like to go from there? Who was the one the last move? That was Rusty. It was Laura that just moved us to the X. We're over to Mike again. Mike, where would you like to go?
I'm going to do that.
That? Okay.
Yeah.
He says in shock, surprise. And where would you like to go from there, Mike?
Let me take a look there.
Okay.
There's a reason why those 2 big black areas go off to the right.
There is. Okay. So, I would have thought that if anything coming from a river were coming through, it would be right around there. So, I'm going to...
That is correct, Mike.
So, I'm going to continue with the logic of there being something in this upper right-hand corner, but we're just going to be on the mud.
Okay. I would have interpreted that slightly differently, but you just ran into a skull and crossbones. Let's see what the skull and crossbone represents. Bad places, skulls, a longboat mitigating. We're still in that method, Mike. You're actually the best person to be rolling this because it goes down. It is a Arcade Sentinel on a tasking roll. On a roll of a 7, you save our Arcane Sentinel yet again, Mike.
Because it's a tasking roll? Or a difficult roll?
It is a tasking becomes a difficult, yes.
There we go.
And,
good job.
Where are you going from there, Mike?
That was a red thing, so red icon, so it's the next person, right?
Ah, yes. Go ahead, Greg. Where would you like to move the boat?
Oh, hang on. Let me take a peek. I'm going to get us on the river a little bit here, maybe. Like... up in here. I can't tell if I can do that or not because it's black, but assuming I can sail up that little bit of river mouth.
So he's basically trying to go northeast.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get in the water and see if there's, rushing river water coming down, flooding the sea we're trying to drain.
Is that water? I think it's just a transition between mud and sand.
Okay,
yes.
well...
That's not a river. That's that.
It's
that
not a river. It's just mud and sand.
Yeah, just a demarcation.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
That's all right. You
Okay,
didn't hit anything.
It was a place we needed to explore. I'm on the edge of the coast then.
No, you're inland on the sand.
Oh, you moved me further than I thought I moved. Okay.
We're trying to clear out the black to the right.
Okay, well, that's fine. I will continue clearing out the black to the right then, if we can do that.
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to hit just that tiny little square to the left just because we're there, but...
Well, I mean, I can, if you want me to.
No.
Yeah.
It's black for a reason.
So I'm going here.
True.
Okay. Let's see if I can draw this in.
So far he hasn't hit anything, right?
Oh, looks like... okay.
And no, so far he's not hit anything.
Good job.
All right. So are we still moving?
You're still moving.
It's you, yes.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Okay, and now we hit the black X again. It's Mike rolling a 7, right, for the skull.
There it is.
Wow. Okay.
And we move on to Tony. Where would you like to move from here? You're hauling the boat across sand, so half the players are off the boat, half the players are on the boat at the moment. And we get a bomb, which is new. We have damaged the hull, dragging across the sand. We all get events of Q and D embark, and Rusty, you get another channel. So we'll start with Rusty with the channel, and Rusty got the Fool card in the channel.
That's got to be good.
It could be. And it says that Rusty has made a friend.
Is this a Tony friend?
A Morg, former constable of Novgorod, wishes to repay the debt of thanks he has for returning the shield of Einherjar. He will block the next wound taken by any player. However, doing this is optional since the wound will instead kill Morg. When Morg falls, the shield will drift in limbo for a year before returning by fate to the care of Lady Moradin for future use.
Ooh. Oh, that's a nasty one.
And our action on the boat, here's our card for us on the boat, is a queen. And we are embarked on the boat, and we are taking a queen. Does anyone have the skill of steward?
Steward. I wish Conrad were here. Conrad has steward.
I wish Conrad was here as well. He's our
steward.
Who is steward?
I
also have steward.
Oh, terrific. All right. So, Mike, see if you can make a roll of a 5 with the quest pip. A longboat vermin free we don't have, but you may have N voltaic as magic.
Yeah, voltaic is magic.
3 dice for a 5. If no one is successful, one character on a longbow temporarily loses a trait, but Mike is successful. We go to Tony. If you roll a 5 on 2 dice, we'll pick up longboat vermin free.
Wait, we don't already have it?
No,
we lost it.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to try to pick that up. I am succeeded.
All right, we go back with our longboat vermin free. I know you like that to matrix out.
That's an important one.
And we're going to go, Tony, who hit the bomb? Was that Greg?
That was me.
Oh, okay, so we're going to go over to Rusty again. Where would you like to go, Rusty?
Okay, let's see here. Well, we'll just keep going directly to the east. Oh boy. And we're going to go to the southeast.
Okay.
Oh, well. So this has been nothing. So if that character is like the owl thing, right?
The Jenolan, yeah. Finish up that upright thing.
You really think? All right.
Yeah. All right. Wait, before you do that, Rusty, it's totally surrounded by sand. So assuming that I'm not just going to put a location and have it geyser up with water, I'll give you a clue here. The hunch is you don't need to go into that area.
Okay.
The hunch is your original plan was probably sound, but you are far afield from it now.
Okay, so let's start back all the way over and go this way. Do you see where I put the boat?
Yeah. Did you want to go? Okay, you're going to go ahead and find the sand on those areas. That's fine. Here you go.
Yeah.
It is the curvy lines.
It's wavy lines.
Wavy lines. I had wavy lines. Okay, so all Q and Ds are prompted, marking in the water. So we're actually moving across the mud, not a good place to be. Who is on the boat and who is off the boat? I will be On the boat.
I thought you said when we're in the mud, everybody's off the boat pulling.
No.
Sand, it was half and half.
Whenever you're sand and mud, somebody has to be on the boat and somebody has to be off the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's when we're in the water, everyone is on the boat. So I will be off the boat. Rusty is going to take his Q&D for sabotaging the channel. I start with Laura. Do you want to be on the boat or off the boat?
Sure, I'll be on the boat.
Okay, on for Laura. And Mike, on the boat or off the boat?
You and Laura have both said on the boat, so somebody needs to be off the boat. I'll do that.
That is correct. Mike is off. Greg, do you want to be on the boat or off the boat?
What's the consequences of being off the boat? Is I get actions, right? If I'm on the boat.
If you're off the boat, you're helping to use horses and men to drag the boat with the lines. If you're on the boat, you're helping to convalesce the men that were crushed by the boat as it was dragged along.
I guess I'm off the boat.
Okay, Tony, you want to be on the boat or off the boat?
I guess I'll be off the boat.
Where would you command from, sir?
Oh, that's a good point. Now, I command from off the boat.
Okay, commands from off the boat. That's unfortunate, but I got Laura with me to help me make that all. Here's your card, Rusty, to start us all off. You got a knight. A knight on sabotage. Let's see what happens with Rusty. It couldn't be that bad. Could it?
I don't know.
Here you go, Rusty. Read it out.
Red created it, so it could be pretty bad.
Could be pretty bad, yep.
Let's see. Rob the contracted supply companies critical to building effort. Success by anyone gives the catbird seat for each player next roll. It's another catbird seat one. Regardless, one character at random makes a serious enemy of Lady Gertrude, the barony ruler of Tiver. Let's see.
Tony, you have automatically made an enemy of Lady Gertrude of Tiver.
Skill Forger, difficulty 9. Advantage, swagger, disarm?
Disarming blows. So here's the big thing, Rusty. Are you a forger? If you're not, there's no chance you can get us the catbird seat.
Okay, let's see. Am I a forger? Let's see. What's forger under?
Artisan. Clever.
I am a forger.
Oh, very good. So you may roll. Now, do you have the swaggering disarming blow? Which I believe is an F.
Is that personal?
It's yes. You can
have disarming blow, and it's glorious.
Okay, well then you might as well roll 3 dice and get us a 9 to give us the catbird seed, and that would be much appreciated.
8 quest pip.
Thank you, Mike. Yes.
It doesn't really matter. I got a 19. So I get to roll twice. So I got a 19 and a 17.
Oh, now he's bragging.
I wasted my 2 great rolls here.
And off the boat. We know our 3 players off the boat. Here's your result.
I have not used my prior catbird, so I'm at double catbird right now. I don't know if that does anything.
I'll give you your next 2 rolls as catbird.
Okay.
Let's go to the 4 first on people off the boat. People off the boat with a 4. Here we go. I lost my mouse in the clutter of all the pages. And go ahead and read it out, Greg.
Alrighty. Off-boat roused 4. Recognize and bypass an area of exotic, life-sucking kelp. If no one is successful, one character at random off the longboat increases warped outcome tally by half a d8. Do not resolve that outcome. Condition, skill, horticulturalist, difficulty 9, advantage...
Mount Essential.
Mount Essential, okay.
So let's look at the condition first. Of the 3 people off the boat, are any of them a horticulturist?
Yep.
Mike is a horticulturist. Tony,
right.
Greg?
I'm not a horticulturist.
I am not a horticulturalist.
Mike, it's up to you. Are you at Mount Essential?
I am not.
Okay.
But the roll is a 9. We have a quest pip +1 for an 8. I have a catbird, which takes it down to a 6. And I'm level 7, so I roll twice. So I think I'll just roll that.
7 to pick up Mount Essential.
There we go.
And you've done so, and so nobody is actually hit by the life-sucking kelp. You've kept the crew off the boat safe. And I go to Laura and myself, and we get the devil card. Let me rephrase that. Laura got the devil card. No, see how that affects the whole party. All right, so Mama's boy, Ogres Dai Banya, comes to watch the fun. Does anyone remember who he is?
That name sounds familiar. Can we? Oh no, I don't know who that is. It must be the week we missed, Laura.
He
Mama's
will crush.
big boy.
He will crush the next non-human threat sent against the players. However, he will not aid the players if they do not recall something about him or his mission in order to justify his friendship. So, does anyone remember this guy? Scour your notes, maybe. I'll give you a few minutes. I won't give you long enough to go to the website, Space Gamer site, Mike.
I wasn't gonna try to do that, believe it or not.
Does anyone have any on the character sheets with this guy, or does anyone remember? Does anyone care to take a guess on when he was employed?
Looks like we were gone.
Yeah, I don't have any notes for him. Must be that week that we were gone, unless it's my other character sheet.
What happened while you were gone, Mike? Do you remember?
I don't know. That was when you guys raided whatever large city it was, and had that week where everybody got crap tons of.
Tony, do you remember anything about that?
I don't. I'm looking. I don't have any notes on this guy. I don't know who he is. Mike almost pinpointed it. It was a week he was away, and that was the week that we raided that one city. But you don't even recall what. Kept getting the.
What'd you say, Laura?
Laura said maybe you guys saved his mother since he's a mama's boy. That would be a nice. That would make sense.
No, that's just what his name translates as Mama's Big Boy. That's what Ogres Dai Banya is. All right, unfortunately, this guy is the guy that hired us to kill all the Greeks in Novgorod, who worship the Aurora Borealis. That was like mission 4. Unfortunately, after he finds that he has no friends among the party of players, he must have been looking for Conrad. He leaves without helping the group. That is actually our card flip, Laura, that devil card. So we're going to go on, and who was the person who moved the boat last? Rusty. We're on to Laura. How do you move the boat, Laura? And as you can see, guys, we're not going to finish this week, so we're going to be playing Outlands next week as well. So if you want to use those last-minute traits in whatever comes up in a battle, you can go ahead and do so. But we move, Laura, where would you like to move the boat to?
Wait, does that mean next week will be a new adventure doing the same thing? Because I'm still wounded from last week.
No, we're still in the same adventure.
Yeah, it'll be the same adventure. You won't get your traits will come back, but you won't get to add to Longboat, and you won't be able to epilogue your city-states, that sort of thing.
Does that mean Rugged's come back? So Red gets his Rugged back?
Yeah, Rugged will come back. So my cup of blood was healed in the months that this journey has taken so far. And the poor fishermen.
What I care about here.
The poor fishermen who were told that no, they'll only have to stop fishing in the sea for a month, for a week, or have been going on a month. Go ahead, Laura. You can push that boat any direction.
Okay. Well, I was trying to ask about wounds because that's the part I care about.
Yeah. Do you have any wounds, Laura?
I'm wounded from last week.
Yeah, but if you're wounded from last week, it's not going to disappear. You'll get your Rugged back, but you're still going to be wounded.
So I got my Rugged back this week too, or no?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you got your Rugged back so that you can absorb one wound, but you still got that one lingering, until somebody eliminates it by the tables, because there are some very rare instances where wounds can disappear on the tables. But where would you like to go from there, Laura?
It looks like we're coming back down.
All right. Let's see what that does.
Remember last week when Red said he thought we could finish this climax in half an hour?
Well, that's because before I expanded it.
Yeah.
And yeah, before he added the 3 things refilling it.
Okay, so we got T. T is not a good one. We're gonna go with we'll start with Laura since she was the mover. Laura, do you have Wrestling holds, golden, inexorable, or cosmic.
I have all of them with golden locked to glorious.
Okay, well, you're going to pick one that's not locked as glorious. You want to pick the one in a category where you have the least amount of other personal or other mounts or other wizardry.
Or other blades.
That's the first.
Oh, golden is glorious.
Yeah.
Okay.
The personal. Since that's kind of the least.
How many do you have in personal then?
I believe that's 11. That's what I counted was 11.
You got over 11 mounts?
She says 11 personals.
No, I'm just personal's harder to get than a mount. I'd rather lose a personal than a mount.
Yeah, but you want to pick the category that has the least number of things that you have checked.
Because it gets an easier roll. Yeah, I'll give you an example. Go ahead. How many personals do you have, Laura?
I'd have 11 personals. I have 8 mounts. So.
Okay, so if you choose personal or choose mount, it's entirely up to you. They're both rolls of 9 at your level.
Yeah.
How about magics? How many magics do you have?
Oh, way more than that.
Okay. All right. Then, all right. So it doesn't really matter. You're right. So you can do the personal.
8 to 12 is the cutoff. So go ahead and roll a personal on a roll of a 9, Laura, to see if you hold on to. Did you use your catbird seat yet? I don't think you did, right? Rusty awarded a catbird seat to everyone next roll?
Yep.
I had not, but I didn't need it for this either.
Okay, well, but it counts now.
Counts now.
And we go to Mike. Which of those 4 are you going to roll against?
I have 4 mount techniques.
4 mount is only a difficult roll. It becomes an ordinary for you.
And then I have a quest. So at level 7,
it's 4 plus 3. Is it going to be an automatic for you? Greg.
Yeah, well, I've got the quest pip, which is a 3, so that's an automatic without even using the catbird.
Doesn't matter. He's saying you.
Yeah,
have to
you say you still use it, Mike. You can't hold it in perpetuity for not using it.
Okay.
We'll go to Greg. Greg, do you have wrestling holds, golden, inexorable, or cosmic?
Wrestling holds.
Okay, and how many other personal swaggering do you have, sir?
I do have an inexorable mount.
Well, which do you have less of, mounts or personals?
I have 4 mounts and 6 personals.
Okay, so the 4 mounts and 6 personals, either one is a difficult roll, a roll of 12 for you. Which one would you like to try to lose? Wrestling holds or inexorable?
I do not have wrestling holds. I just said that. All I have is inexorable.
How about if you roll me a 12 on 2 dice, or you lose inexorable?
There you go.
And I just would have been 11.
Wait, does that mean he just made it? What's it called? He just locked it glorious.
Oh, he just locked it as glorious. That is correct.
We get to lock him as glorious if we make these?
Yeah, that's right. We're determined that's the case. And I go on to Tony. Thank you, Tony. And go ahead and.
I have all 5, so I'm going to do mount because it's a 10. Inexorable.
Okay, inexorable. Go ahead.
Oh, I made it with my 7.
You did, because you said you had 10. It's a tasking roll. It's a 9. It would only be wait. It would be an 8.
I'm 8th level.
Oh, that's right. It's a 7 minus 1 is a 6. You locked your thing as and mine. I lost my inexorable. All I have is golden. I will try to roll golden.
Do you still have the catbird seat I got for you?
No, I think I used. Well, no, I didn't, because
I've gotten it 3 times.
I was with the devil card that flipped with Laura, so I'm +3 on this. So golden, I have 7. It's a difficult roll for me, with just a 12. +4 to my roll is an 8. 2 dice for an 8 to lock my golden or lose my golden. I'm trying to. My mouse has gone crazy with all these apps open. Let me see if I can roll it. 8. I've lost golden.
Oh, man.
Oh, well.
Dice have not.
You really didn't want a golden blade anyway.
I was saying it was golden all this time, but you guys said no. It's not golden. It's dirty.
You polished that up, yeah.
Yeah, rusty.
It's dirty. It's not golden. Oh, I thought it was golden. They told me it was golden. Okay, and Rusty, did you Rusty doesn't roll this because he's not on the boat.
Yep, I'm not on the boat. I'm not there.
So we're off now. We have one more encounter probably in us tonight, and I go to Mike. Where would you like to move us? It can't be that bad.
No, it's not. It's just I'm just thinking about the mud and the sand. I'm going to go back to that initial plan about the rivers, but I'm going to take us all the way up here. See where I did that?
Okay.
And I want to keep going west.
You're going to go west along the mud.
Yeah.
All right.
Since you said the basic plan of looking for kind of a river was kind of smart, maybe if we keep going that way, it'll be up there. I just wouldn't see it in that sand that I suspect is over to the east.
All right, where to, Mike?
You can either go to the sand or stay in the mud, or go to the water.
Yeah, I'm kind of just following that coastline at this point. I just kind of want to chart it.
So you're staying in the mud.
Yeah. Now I'm still going to follow the coastline. Now I think there may be a river in that upper left corner, but I may as well follow the coastline rather than go across the mud and the sand, right?
All right,
we don't know. There's 6 omegas.
Yeah, but given where Aquata is, there's not going to be too much more south I can go on this. It's going to have to go west in a minute. Hey, I found a B. We can lock something at Glorious. You're welcome.
Or lose it.
Or lose it. Let's go to B, Baker, and let's start with Mike. Mike, do you have any better valor, mucilage, winged, or psionics?
I do not have any non-glorious B swaggering techniques.
So you have locked them all as glorious? No. Do we have a boat one? No, we don't have a boat one. Mike, you have increased your warp outcome tally by 2. You do not resolve that. And I go over to Greg. Greg, do you have better valor, mucilage, lage, winged, or psionics?
What?
Your B-row.
B-row. I have none.
Greg, you increased by 4 on your warp tally. Tony, do you have better valor, or etc.?
Yes, I have psionics. That's the only thing that I have that's not marked glorious.
Okay, so let's test psionics. How many wizardry do you have? Probably 8 to 12?
10.
10, yeah. 8 to 12 gives us a tasking roll of 7 with the quest pip of a 6. 6 to lock it as glorious or lose it. You've locked it as glorious.
Did you use your catbird seat, Tony?
I used that in the last one.
Yeah, I think those are all erased, Rusty. Over to me.
No, mine's still there.
Oh, that's true.
I'm trying to lose magic and I'm locking it. Okay.
Or winged. I really would love to lock either of those as glorious. Let's try the mucilage. It's going to be a difficult roll for me, which is a 12. I do not have a catbird seat. It's 11. 11 to lock it as glorious or I lose it. And I rolled my 11. I have picked up mucilage. I can make beer with my sword. At least that's what they tell me. And we go over to Laura. Laura, do you have any Bs?
Winged. I have 8 mount ones.
Okay, so 8 mounts is going to be a tasking roll for you. It's going to be a 9, 8 with the the quest pip, and 8 to make your winged locked as glorious or lose it.
Do I get 1 roll or do I get a second roll?
Just 1 because it's task resolution. It's based on level.
I finally fail one, and it's the one I really.
You can. I was about to say you can always make roll these, right? You got how many make rolls do you have left?
Probably all of them.
So you have 7. Yeah, you might want to next time. Okay, and that puts us at 8:57. That's a good stopping point. Hopefully next week we'll get Fred back and we'll get Conrad back. But if not, you guys will continue to punish yourselves, and try to find the 2 more books or flip enough cards to give that will show you what the plots are that are coming.
So I have a question regarding warp tally. When you get a chance, finish your wrap up.
Go ahead.
My prior warp